Okay then, you lovely lot, I am so excited today because we are at our lake at Marston Fields, Marston Fields, and look, it's finally got water in it. Can't believe it, folks. From like how it was when we obviously like designed it, and then when we saw it, and obviously you've seen Jamie in the middle of it going through sort of like the depths and the contours of the lake, for it to finally have water in it. Oh my days, folks. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on what's happened. If you can hear me, if you're that blooming digger, basically we've got a lake behind us, Sycamore Lake, and what Dale's done is used the water out of Sycamore and pumped it straight in here via this massive tap. I really want to turn that tap on there, Rich. Look at it, I really want to turn that tap on. So it's pretty much good to go. We can put fish in because obviously it's got all that, the bacteria, there's a little bit of algae forming down there, and it's got all that goodness that the fish need. So we're pretty much good to go and stock some fish into this lake. I'm actually going to go and set up today, even though there's no fish in it, folks. I'm going to set up because I just want to show you like what depths we've got. It'd be really interesting. Obviously we've seen it with no water in, with no sort of like the contours, but the beauty of when that water goes in, obviously the density of the water, it's flattening all sort of like the clay down, so we should get nice smoothish slopes. Now obviously it's going to change when, you know, wind gets on it, and obviously when fish start coming in, feeding, this, that and the other. Depths down the middle, it'd be really interesting to see what kind of you know, shapes we've got. You know, I'd imagine still for now we're going to have sort of like the digger tracks and that kind of thing, but obviously over a few months, I don't think it's going to take that long, you're going to get that bit of silt forming, and then you're just going to get nice smooth bottoms, cheeky. So yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit more walk around the lake, and I want to show you obviously how the algae's forming and this, that and the other, and then I'm going to go and get some gear set up and do some plumbing up. Can't wait, folks. So folks, as you can see then from last time, pegs have gone in, and look how lovely and low to the water they are. There's been more work gone on obviously in the banking as well. There's been some reeds laid, it's all been seeded. You can see some bits of grass starting to come through on the island, that's been seeded, and obviously it's got to be topsoiled yet, just to like obviously neaten it all off a little bit, and then there's a proper road going through. It's like, it's taken shape already, hasn't it? You know what I mean? It looks like proper fishable now. I honestly can't wait for it. Looking down, it's like a nice, it's comfortable distance. I'm going to say it's, what, 13 metres, Richard? Might not even be that, actually. 13 metres, obviously. Prevailing wind, I'm going to say southeast, so westerly is going to be going sort of like that way, prevailing wind. So you know where Jamie's peg's going to be, don't you, folks? It's going to be over there, windy end, in it like that. But it's one of them kind of lakes, a snake lake. I generally don't think it matters where you are. Obviously, when all them fish go in, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference, I don't think. Look, something just top there. There's no fish in it, but something's just like risen there. It wouldn't be, folks. It'd be like flies hatching. But joking apart, them little things like flies coming up, you can just see. Obviously, that's all the goodness, you know, in the water.
It's a secret, and
what?
there is actually some fish in there.
What?
Like
Is there actually?
20-pound F1's gone in.
No way. Is there actually?
So you might actually catch fish.
I was joking. That actually looked like a fish, but then I thought I was making the spiel about flies.
It's like
Is there actually?
10 or 20 fish.
No, right, that's it. I'm fishing. I want to beat Jamie and catch first fish on our new lake before him. Yeah, look, that's not fish. That's like flies. But obviously, what I was getting at before, look at the little flies coming up. So that's like signs of all that bacteria happening and, you know, things hatching in the water. Obviously, that's what you want for a good, sustainable ecosystem. Get him, Richard. Come on, let's get further down. Let's find this. Look, bits like this. You know what I mean? All bits coming up, like the algae. Let's get down towards the algae and all. It's a right education for me as well, this, folks. Obviously, I've been around, or been involved in fishing since like blooming 3 years old, and you know, I've had bits of input into some lakes at Cudmore and this, that and the other, but from hearing, I'm gonna mention Vic at Cudmore, he was a fishery manager there, and he's told me loads about lakes and stocking and that. And this is one of the main things. Obviously the water's gone in, what, within the last few weeks and that. Then you can see here where the actual water of the lake has been drawn into the banking, so it's given it one of them. but it'll only go so far because it is completely clay lined. So obviously it's going to find its level, and then it's never going to drop below that level. And obviously that's why they put the clay in to, like, you know, just sort of like plug it, if you like. It's proper interesting, isn't it? But you can see all down the bank where it's sort of like saturated to a certain point, and then that's it, it stopped, obviously where the clay ends. Proper clever that, isn't it? Love fishing, me. So out of the 20 pegs that are going to be on this lake, folks, I don't even think we need to give this peg a number. It can just be labelled Jamie's peg, because he would 100% draw this peg. This is the one that I fancy. Look, windward end, wind's blowing in, that little bit wider. He would definitely not draw any of that. He would draw in here. And obviously look at the signs of life, the bits of algae, you know, the bits of scum on the top. Obviously that's all part of that healthy ecosystem of the lake. So, you know, things are starting to happen already, even though there's only what, £25 worth of fishing, Rich. I think when we plumb up in a bit, I'm gonna park here. I'm gonna put Maggie on. I'm gonna see if we can catch one. I want to catch one before J Lad. But yeah, it's a right Jamie peg this. But it's so exciting to see and so interesting. Obviously, like the reeds and all that. But look at this scum here. Oh yeah, that's like muggy scum for J Lad. I'd see like lips coming up in that, wouldn't he? You know what I mean? But there's even more of it up here. I think it was on about. Obviously the geese, you know what I mean, the Canada geese in the ecosystem, when they're doing the plops and all that, it's creating all that bacteria in, you know what I mean? It's not nice, but that's why we've got all these blooming reeds here, because they've been pecking the reeds out. Little boogwise they are. Oh no, this is a Jamie peg as well. Two winds meeting. So that's Jamie peg 1, Jamie peg 2. And I reckon all the rest will be Andy pegs. Bit away from the lakes now then, folks, and I just want to show you the scale of this project. The last time I came here, this was all flat. Now look at the state of this bund. I'm going to say it's sort of 10 to 12 foot. All this has been pushed up. Now that lake is completely flat, but I mean, it's quite windy today. You've only got to look at that lake down there, but look at the state of our lake. You know what I mean? Even though it's open, it just seems to be catching it, and that's the beauty of why, you know, Jamie was talking about the bund, and obviously that's what's happened. You know, it seems to be sort of missing that wind. Proper, it's just ridiculous. Might even be more than that, but it just shows you how much it's like built up. Proper, innit? So anyway, back to the fishing. So I think, right, we're going to get some gear. I'm going to go on Jamie's peg, get some gear set up, get plummet on, and just show you the depths that we're going to be faced with. And I'm going to put a bait on. I'm going to try and catch fish. Got to go and catch fish. Come on, folks. So a bit about the lake then, folks, innit? But obviously we need some stock in it, don't we? We've got sort of ideas of what we're going to put in, but we want to hear your ideas. What fish do you think we should put in? If it was left to me, folks, I'd just stick chub and Iden. You know what I'm like. But what we are going to do, it's a little bit different, is we're going to put, reckon 2 or 3 goldfish in. And now, how that's going to work, rather than a golden peg, you're going to have a golden fish. So, you know, your pleasure fishing if you want to, your club matches, your open matches, you all pay an extra £1. And when one of you catches the goldfish, that money's yours. So I think that'd be like really exciting. I've always wanted to do something like that. Back in the day, Cudmore, they used to have tagged fish. They put like 10 tagged fish in the arena, and they had them on like a transmitter. So they know obviously if they were still in there. And they got caught quite regular, you know what I mean? They did get caught quite regular. You didn't actually win anything, but it was just the kudos of, well, I've caught a tagged fish. But yeah, be proper that.
You could get more for catching a goldfish than winning the match.
You could actually, yeah, you could actually, you know what I mean? Fish a match and there's not many on, and you catch a goldfish, that's it. You're paying for everyone's drinks in the pub. But yeah, it's like we've always wanted to do something like that, and it's just something completely different rather than drawing obviously for a golden peg. You're fishing for a golden fish. Imagine if you saw it like 3 pegs away and you like try and mug it and someone else was on it, didn't see it. Oh yeah, if it was like me and Jay fishing, it'd be carnage, wouldn't it? But yeah, let us know what you think, folks. What would you put in? If you had your own lake, what kind of fish would you put in? Chub and Ide all day. What would you put in, Richard?
Skimmers.
There we go then, you lovely lot. Quick tour of the lake. We're looking to open it about sort of springtime next year, March onwards, 2025. So for all your club bookings, contact Marston Fields and get booked on. In the meantime though, I'm going to get some gear out. I'm going to get my van actually. I'm going to get some gear out and have a plumb up. So join me in a sec. Right then, folks. how privileged am I? The first one ever to set gear up and the first one ever to put plummet on and show you the depths. I mean, it's obviously, we've done it based around obviously a typical snake lake. So shallow in the edge, flat down the middle, and then exactly the same as the edge is what you get across, and that's what I'm going to show you now. I'm going to put plummet on and plumb down the middle first, where we wanted 4 foot. 4 foot just seems to be the perfect depth, you know what I mean? Obviously over time that's going to silt up, probably obviously when it fills up with rain a little bit as well, it's going to come up a little bit more, but around 4 foot, that's what we want. And it's just absolutely perfect, you know what I mean? So let me show you that first, plumbing up down the middle. So can't wait to get fishing and start catching. I'm going to have a little fish actually, because Richard saw me. I'm like, Rich, I've got to have a go for the fish. He's like, Andrew, don't be daft. There's like £25 worth of fishing. You ain't going to get a bite. I've got to give it a try, folks, haven't I? Right, so I'm not going to show you that first. I'm going to go straight for down the middle. So straight in front of me, down the middle, you'll see that float set at like 4 foot, maybe just over 4 foot. And that's where we are, yeah? Hey, I did have a swirl there then. I reckon that was my plummet going in. That was my plummet going in, wasn't it? Yeah, so you see what we've got. So if I come back a little bit, you're still on that, Richard. I've just got that slope, yeah? So you see it, that length there, which is my top kit in 2 on. So I've got a full 13 metres for across, and I've got a top kit in 2 on for there. We just, you see, it's just flat all the way. We've got a good 1.5 metres where it's that same depth. All the way down the middle. Look how lovely and flat that is, folks. You know what I mean? It's like proper, in it. Oh, a little bit deeper there. So that must have been like a mound or something like that, like a tractor wheel or something like that. Not a tractor wheel, digger wheel. Like an inch deeper there. See, it's just lovely and flat. This is what we wanted. Like all too often we fish snake lakes where you've not really got the central bit down the middle. You might only have like 1 foot, 2 foot before it sort of comes up to the far bank again, because the snake lakes are a little bit too narrow. But we're making this sort of, I'm going to say minimum of 13 metres. Then you're allowed for you know, a good sort of 1.5 metres, 2 metres possibly, of that nice flat depth, and that's what we want. So you see there, we're at a top kit in 3 now, so a good 1.5 metres past where I first plumbed up, and then it's just starting to come up. Oh my days, folks, look, that'd be where I'd be plumbing to catch them fishes there, just out of the deep water. There, just coming up that slope. Oh my days, Richard, on that. That's where I'll be plumbing up, yeah? That's where we'll be catching some fishes there. Then obviously I've got another section on here, folks, just to show you how it comes up and progressively comes up for that far bank. Yeah, so nice and steady. Nothing sort of real serious, steep incline or anything like that. It's just nice and gradual. You can see that actually there. Yeah, my float's hardly coming up at all. I'm probably shipping sort of 8 to 10 inches at a time. It's just coming up nice and gradual. But the best bit is that far bank. Let me show you the far bank. We've got a lovely sort of flat bottom, cheeky, right across. I mean, it's only shallow, but obviously imagine this with a little bit more water in when it's a bit more established. We've got a lovely sort of flat. I'm going to say it's almost sort of like 2 or 3 foot. Might even be a bit more. Let me show you over there, where it's completely flat, no slope at all, and then it just gradually comes off that bank a bit. I've set this to 16 inches, your typical sort of mudline depth, if you'd like, and obviously same down the edge as well. In fact, let me show, can you get that in there, Richard? Down the edge. So obviously you can see here, yeah, really shallow, and I'm just creeping out sort of like 3 or 4 inches at a time. It's quite steep there. Obviously you're still gonna catch fish on that. See it just dropping off quickly. The drop off is nowhere near the same over there. Obviously we've designed that, you know, for keep nets in mind, and that obviously a little bit deeper, closer in for your keep nets. But let me show you the difference across. Proper excited, aren't I, folks? What blooming heck? It's our own lake, folks, isn't it? Right, I'll just wait a sec until Rich gets zoomed in. Right, so I'm at a full 13 metres here, folks, yeah? In fact, let me go right tight to the bank. You on that, Richard? So that's a full 13 metres there. So let me plummet going in. We've probably got, what, 8 inches there, something like that. I'm going to come back 4 inches, lift me plummet out, drop it again, exactly the same. Come back another 4 inches, lift plummet out, drop it again, exactly the same. And then now it should start to just drop off a little bit now. So I've come back, what, Yeah, see it just dropping ever so slightly there. So I've got lovely flat water right tight against the bank. Now already, get back on my pole, Rich, so you can see how much I've shipped back. All right, okay, so you can see how much I've shipped back and how flat that ledge was over there. Now I'm just going to come back a little tiny bit. Just, you can just see it just starting to nip off there. But I want to show you when we let all resistance go. There, let all resistance go and that plummet, that float stays there. That's what we want. And that is one of the main features, or the main sort of things that we wanted to get on this lake, was that we didn't want anything really steep and horrible and sharp. We wanted it nice and gradual so them fish feel nice and confident when they're obviously feeding on your bait and grazing over there. And I think we've done it, haven't we, Rich? You know what I mean? We've recreated that absolutely perfect. Even coming back a little bit more, we've still got that depth, and it's not. Look at that, I can still drop my plummet there and it's absolutely perfect. It's not dropping off. Just want to go fishing now, folks. I wish it were full of fish, just want to go fishing, but that is one of the main things that we wanted. Again, we go to these fisheries where the banks are too steep, so you can't get any bait on it, it's just washing away. You can't hold a rig on it because it's like a blooming cliff face. Not like that on the Winning Ways lakes, folks. Honestly, I'm so excited to. I'm excited now, even though there's no blooming fish in it. I'm going to have a fish. I've got to have a fish, folks. I'm going to have a fish for 10 minutes, see if we can get a bite. I won't do, but I just want to get one up on Jamie, basically. But I can't wait for the fish to go in and finally have a fish on it. Proper exciting. So, and it's good for you lot to join us on our journey as well, folks. You know what I mean? Next time you see this then, folks, you'll be seeing fish aplenty going in. So that's the next video we're going to do, is actually stocking the lake. I can't wait for it. I'm going to have a little diddly do, ding dang diddly do now, but I can't wait for them fishes to go in, folks. Hopefully chubs and ids. Yeah!